Welcome back, everyone. This is Starships and Steel, and today we're talking zones. Stay tuned. You ever played Conan or anything like that doesn't use a grid or doesn't use measurements but uses zones? There might be times when your players are a little bit confused about, am I in that zone or am I in this zone? Generally in Conan, it's supposed to be zones are around pieces of terrain. Maybe that doesn't always work out for you. So this is something I've been working on and trying hopefully to figure out. So I got some ideas today, but until then, we'll get to that in a moment. But first, we have a new segment on the show, or rather, we've renamed one of the old segments. This segment is called From the Skulls of My Enemies. Today, from the skulls of my enemies, a nice new scotch called Tomatin. My buddy turned me onto this. He's like, you should go try this out. It's in Superstore, which is like a discount, I guess, best description for it. Grocery store here in Canada. What's it called? It's got a different name back east, which I can't remember right now because I don't deal with it. But I do deal with Superstore. So he said it was about $37 Canadian a bottle. So pretty good deal. Anything here we're going to teach you guys. It says it's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, established in 1897. Bourbon and sherry casks, aged 12 years. Nothing hugely exciting. Pour a bit of scotch there. See what the skulls of my enemies gave me today. A little woody? Earthy, maybe? Let's give it a shot. A little burn in the back of the throat, but in general, it's pretty smooth. Definitely drinkable. Not a lot of that peaty aftertaste. If you don't like that, it's going to be good for you. Well, I like it. It's not going to be my favorite scotch ever, but it's pretty good. So we'll give it 4.5 skulls of my enemies. And with that, we're going to get over to the craft area behind me. And we're going to build you guys some zone markers and talk about how they work. So stick around and we'll get that started. Okay, so materials. First thing we're going to need for materials is some chipboard and some XPS foam and any other debris you might have. Tools, nothing special here. We're going to use a hot glue gun and a razor knife, and maybe, if you have them, a pair of scissors. So let's get started. With our chipboard, we're going to cut some oblong shapes. We're just going to trace these out with a Sharpie first, just so you guys can see. And just cut them out with your scissors. Elongated is better than not elongated, and you'll see why at the end of the video. There we go. Just take our XPS foam and just glue those into position. Just like that. Glue them all over that base, make it look like some broken terrain. Basically, it's a small piece of scattered terrain that's not going to be too obtrusive on the battlefield. So once we get that, just take some hot glue guns and go in and texture up that base a little bit. Just cover it all up, and then we'll go on to the painting. Painting, black base coat. Good way to start everything. Once that's done, we're going to go a heavy sponge with slate. Just cover that whole thing. Get most of it all covered, like 80-90%. Just go to town. Get that slate all over it. And once you're done with that slate, we're going to go over to a storm cloud gray, and we're going to do a medium sponge over that. So you're probably looking for 60-70% coverage here. So it'll just give it a little bit more texture, more idea, more color. So once we got that done, we're going to go to another lighter gray. This time we're going to use smoke. I'm just going to do a light sponge over top of this. So we get that light sponge done. We go, this was pretty quick. You're looking for, I don't know, 20% coverage-ish. Get some highlights on that bad boy. There we go. Once that's done, we're going to go on to another light sponge with some burnt umber just for some color variation. Just get on there like that. And of course, depending on the terrain you want to use, you could do these in sandstone colors or whatever, or snow colors. It doesn't matter. Okay, so in this dungeon hallway, the open area at the beginning, it's kind of hard to see where your zones are. So we use our markers, just like this. and we'll use some red lines just to illustrate the zones as they're laid out with these markers. Makes it much easier for your players to see. So click like if you like this video, and of course always join me next time and subscribe. And we'll start with a new video, new craft. Leave a comment below if you like this, if you have better ideas, love to hear them. I'll talk to you guys all later. Cheers.